else can people, some of these post-trauma growth that takes place so that we can recognize it and know that we are on the road to recovery?
I think as a result of going through adult abandonment trauma, and it is so painful. So it's hard to imagine that growth comes out of it because it is so debilitating. But as a result of going through it consciously and working with, some of the tools of the program, you become more capable of unconditional love. You become more realistic. You begin to look at your own values and other people differently. If you choose a new partner, you discover that your values may have changed as to whom you find acceptable. Your criteria changes. But more than that, you develop a sense of your own 2 feet standing on the ground, anchoring you. You discover that emotional self-reliance feels really good. You can still love somebody desperately and have beautiful relationships, but to discover that you are capable of standing on your own 2 feet, that you can give yourself love, you can give yourself security. When you make that discovery, it starts to give you a real kind of deep self-esteem, not, oh, how beautiful I am or whatever. It's based on, I can stand on my own 2 feet. So the post-traumatic growth isn't impressive and, showy. It's the dignity and the pride and the self-contained attitude of the person.
That's excellent. So post-traumatic growth is sometimes invisible to the outside world.
It can be invisible.
But the person,
when you see it in people, you feel it over time. You can feel that they have extraordinary things about them that are strong and pure and wonderful.
Okay, that's great. I just want to know how someone would know that they have grown. What's the barometer for growth that they can look at and say, okay, I've grown?
That is such a good question, because what's interesting about that is a lot of times when I introduce the concept, and again, I didn't make it up, I read this somewhere, but nobody ever heard of it. So when I introduced it, people are like, do I have it? It's very hard to know what your growth is. But as soon as I introduce it, people start to notice it in each other and themselves. It begins with hearing the word, really. It doesn't really, there are a lot of people can say, my father beat up my mother and eventually he killed her. And then I had to grow up with my father and he was an alcoholic, and then he left and I was 14 and I was on my own and I went into foster homes but as a result, I am such a strong person and I'm in program and I help other people and I'm a therapist, or, there are plenty of people who know that what they went through made them who they are today and wouldn't trade what they went through for anything. That doesn't mean that everyone who has a lot of resilience and strength knows it. It's a beautiful thing some people do know. I went through hell and this is who I am now. But some people don't. They just don't realize it because the strength may be subtle. It may be quiet. It may be very shy, but it's there.
So for women out there who are feeling weak and vulnerable and helpless, the good news is that you're stronger than you think.
You're stronger than you think, and you'll get stronger as you get through it. But not to feel that just because the abandonment brought you to your knees, literally cut you right down. And just because you can't get up yet, you're still on your knees, you can't even stand up yet, doesn't mean that you're not going to. It means you're going through a very difficult emotional crisis that we all can go through, depending on if it happens or not, if anybody, and that in time you will get up and there'll be strength because you'll work it through.